Hello and welcome to Fun with Failure. We've got 5 stories from the Reddit forum, I Don't Work Here Lady. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. I get asked for help a lot whenever I'm at tech stores or EB game stores. I guess it's because I make eye contact and smiling. And also having a beard makes me look nerdy, I guess. So obviously I must work there. Which is weird, because I am usually wearing a Superman shirt, shorts and flip-flops. Nothing like the get-ups that the retail workers have, with the black pants and whatnot. I always try to help people out if they ask me nicely, because it's the right thing to do. And I like how they get confused when I don't want to go check them out for my commission, or whatever. I don't know how the store works. On the other hand, if they are rude, I play along and give bad advice. Cause why not? It's hilarious. Or if they are aggressive, I just escalate straight back to them. Only learned this skill recently. It seems to correlate that when you get older, you care less about what other people think. Young me would have just frozen up like a deer in the headlights. Anywho, less rambling, more story. My favorite interaction in mistaken retail slavery was in EB Games. A nice mom, probably 30-ish, asked me about buying her son Saints Row, like he wanted. So I chatted with her a bit, and I talked her into getting Skyrim instead. And she quickly agreed that a game where you beat people to death with a dildo bat probably isn't the best game for little Jimmy. I don't know if she thought I worked there or not. It was just a nice human interaction, and all was well, and she thanked me, and walked off. Then up comes pretentious jerk. Since I was helping someone, I must work here. PJ was one of those prissy little 18 to 21-year-olds that thinks because they wear $200 suits and work in an office, they are big businessmen, and ain't got no time for nobody. He stomps straight up to me and squares off, while I'm happily reading the back of a PlayStation 4 game, and demands, "Do you have any copies of UFC? Get it for me." No idea. Have you checked there? I pointed to the shelf that was mixed up with PlayStation 4 games in front of me. "No, for Xbox." And he stares at me like an idiot. "No idea, bro. Ask them." Then I pointed back to the EB crew at the desk. He looks at me up and down like I'm a piece of dirt, and he stomps off to the desk. I continue looking over the games, killing time, while my girlfriend does some shopping. I get put in EB Games so I'm not annoying. It's like a man-child crash, thinking about how much of a little jerk this guy is, when I get surprised by the following behind me, and I spin around wondering what's going on. "Oi, there's one copy of UFC left in there. Go find it." He points to the big bin of miscellaneous games. One of the big bins in the middle of the store, EB always seems to have full of stuff nobody wants. It takes me a moment to collect my thoughts, then I smile and I say to him, "Sure thing, boss," as I know exactly how this is going to play out from now on. He pulls out his phone and does whatever pretentious jerks do on their phones. I walk over to the bin, spend like a minute or so finding the game. Score! I find it, and it's only $20 to $30, so I ninja. And I take the route to the counter that goes behind the pillar. I buy the game and beeline exit out of the store. As I round the corner out of the shop, I call out, "Later, boss." The way his face changed from indignant to confused was awesome. I went on my merry way, leaving him to find out the final copy was sold. I never got to play the game, because I don't even own an Xbox. And that's the story of my pettiest moment. I hope you all enjoyed it. Being confused for a person who works somewhere is a huge pet peeve for me, so I've developed a knee-jerk reaction to people approaching me in shops. Well, karma may have nipped me in the butt for this, because I felt pretty crappy after this short interaction. I'm in a shop browsing the wall of jackets, when a woman who I felt was hovering by me started looking at me. I purposely ignored her, and I tried to distance myself. This woman said something to me, and there was a slight accent barrier, so I had trouble hearing what she said. "Sorry, I don't work here." "Yes, well..." And I cut her off. Haha, yeah. People always think I'm an employee, but I'm not. "Oh, I know you don't work here. I was just hoping that you could reach this jacket for me, because it's too high." I got the jacket down for her, and I felt like a huge jerk for blowing her off. She was just another human being asking another human being for help. A couple of months ago, I was in a beauty supply store looking for my regular hair dye when I was approached by a very rude and unpleasant lady. So this lady comes over to me and asks, "Where's the color chart?" I pointed her in the right direction. It didn't cross my mind that she thought I worked there. I just presumed that she asked me because I was the only person near. And since I had bright red hair at the time, she must have thought I knew some stuff. A moment later, she comes storming back and asks, "Where are the developers?" And again, I point her in that direction. Bear in mind, she doesn't even thank me for helping her, but I ignore it and keep looking for my own stuff. About 5 minutes later, she finds me in another aisle, and she starts to ask me a bunch of questions I don't know. So I politely say that I don't know, and that she should ask someone else. Then she starts the familiar line that we all know so well. "I want to speak to your manager. Someone so unhelpful shouldn't be working here." And she storms off. I'm super annoyed at this point, and seeing that I know there's only one girl working the registers, I rushed over to the counter to beat this lady to it. And honestly, the look on her face when she saw that I was just a regular customer was priceless. I was enjoying my bit of pettiness at this point, so I'll start to ask the employee all different questions about anything and everything, just to make this lady wait as long as possible. Always thought that I would forever be a lurker on this sub, but here I am. I've never been mistaken for an employee because I'm usually with other people, or if I'm alone, I have this bright purple bag on my shoulders that screams, "I don't work here." Oh, how the tables turn. I work at a daycare during my college breaks, and our uniforms are khaki pants and a blue polo, like every retail store ever, right? Now, I teach 2 or 3-year-olds, so my days are long and hectic, which means I tend to go immediately home from work. Until last Friday, I had some holiday shopping to do. I didn't want to run out later, so I took the plunge, and I went to the store known for khakis and blue polos. That was an obvious mistake, so I go in, grab a basket, and start shopping, navigating the holiday retail madness. I got some candy, some PJ pants, and a sweater in my basket when I'm standing in the shoe aisle browsing slippers for my mom. Cue the lady with an overflowing cart, who I'll refer to as Colossal Witch, or CB. So CB comes flying down the aisle and comes to a screeching halt to my side. I'm blissfully unaware, looking at some fox slippers, when I hear a loud, "Excuse me," and a nudge from the cart. I look up and see CB. I sheepishly smile and I go, "Sorry?" before scooting out of the way because I think she wanted to get through. "Where are your Christmas slippers?" she demands, frowning like she just smelled the nastiest fart. I raise my eyebrow before the obvious hits me. I chuckle and shake my head. "Sorry, I know I look like a worker here, but I don't." Then I point to the gigantic logo on my polo, which is a very large bird with the words "Flower Schools" around it. Oh, but if that was the end of it, I wouldn't be here, would I? The conversation that followed went like this. "Ugh, you lazy kids these days. Just tell me where your Christmas sweaters are." "Listen, ma'am, I don't work here. I work at Flower Schools. It says it on my shirt. Stop lying to me and help me." I'm usually very anxious and spineless, but sometimes the angry, confrontational butthole inside of me pops out. This is one of those few times. "Look, lady, my 3-year-old students read better than you. I don't work here. I work at Flower Schools. If you spell it out, I'll spell it out for you. F-L-O. So I spelled out everything so slowly, and I could just see the realization hit the lady's face. But oh no, she's not finished. "I want to speak to your manager." "You'll have to go to my actual job to do that." "Have a nice day, ma'am. Maybe you should read more." I grabbed my fox slippers and walked away, feeling slightly triumphant at the fact that for once, I didn't cry while being verbally berated. I work as a point-of-sale technician. My job is essentially driving around with a truck full of touchscreens and receipt printers, doing service calls at grocery stores, restaurants, cafes, and retail stores, servicing pretty much any company that doesn't have their own dedicated tech team. Many times each day I'm confused for staff, and it's completely understandable since I'm usually behind the counter and screwing around with computers. I do what I can to avoid customer contact. I dress all in black, no name tag, carry tools with me, and avoid eye contact, and get in and out as quickly as possible. This works most of the time. But otherwise, I have no problem explicitly telling people, "Hey, sorry, I don't actually work here, but they can help you on the other till." My job is literally the I Don't Work Here Lady the movie. Anyways, so today I had a call at a grocery store because one of the till serial ports stopped working. So basically I had to crack open the computer case, replace the messed up card, plug everything back in, install drivers, then reassign all the hardware to go through the new port. This story begins with me just at the point where I unplugged everything and the computer was pulled out from its compartment when I pop up from under the counter and I see some lady unloading her cart on the conveyor belt. She's on her phone and I give her a little wave and I say, "Oh hey, this lane is actually closed. Sorry for the inconvenience." But she continues unloading her cart. I point at the sign, "Register closed," the little pyramid thing that's sitting on the conveyor, directly in front of her slowly growing pile of groceries. She gives me a little hand wave with the shoe gesture, and she rolls her eyes and continues unloading. All bets are off. I make a show of slamming the computer down in front of her. I unscrew the case, pop it open, and remove the PCI card. She's done unloading the cart and looking antsy and watching me. By the time I have this stuff plugged back in and turn the computer on, she's off her phone. "What's taking so long?" "I told you this lane is closed. You should try another lane." "I've already unloaded my cart. I'm not waiting in line again." As if she's been waiting in line to begin with. "Well, this till is going to take 45 more minutes. You're welcome to wait it out." "This is ridiculous. Where's your manager?" "In his office, in a different city. I don't work here. I'm fixing the computer. It's going to take a while." She stands around for a good 10 minutes while I'm installing drivers until a manager walks by and she flags him down. She tells him how rude I was. Then she says, "Your employee's being so rude and he's making me wait and wait and wait." "Hey, I told her that the lane was closed." "How much longer will this take? Half an hour? Okay, well, I'll be happy to help you at the customer service desk." Finally, some service. She loads her cart up again and walks over to the customer service desk with a smug grin on her face. Like, "Lady, you didn't win anything. There were open registers the whole time. You literally wasted your own time arguing with me, then did exactly what you were complaining about having to do, while feeling proud of yourself?" Oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna add another 5. So, here we go. When I was around the age of 23, my favorite outfit that I wore was a red t-shirt and a pair of tan corduroy pants. More than once I wore that outfit on a shopping trip to Target. My mistake. It never dawned on me until inevitably a customer stopped me and asked me some questions. Generally, I try to be polite and point them in the direction of an actual employee. My favorite time though was the time that I got chewed out by a manager. I was browsing the Lego sets and texting on my phone, just minding my own business. Occasionally, someone else would enter or leave the aisle, but I paid them no mind. So I really didn't notice that there was anyone else close by. Then suddenly a voice behind me loudly whispers, "Are you kidding me? Hiding in the toy sections on your phone?" I spun around to find a very angry, late middle-aged woman. She held out her hand and demanded, "Give it to me." I just stared at her, thoroughly confused. She snapped her fingers and said, "Now." And when I didn't oblige, she actually made a grab for my phone. I jerked my phone away, out of her reach, and asked her if she was crazy. She responded, "Do not speak to me that way. You know good and well that you can't have your phone out while on the clock. Give me your phone and I will give it back to you after your shift." It dawned on me what her mistake was, and why she made it. I was wearing a red shirt and tan corduroys, so I said, "Oh, no, I don't work here." "Excuse me? I don't work here. For Target." "Not after this you won't. I have never dealt with such a disrespectful—" "Ma'am, I don't work here." "Yes you do. You're just trying to avoid getting into trouble." "If I work here, then what's my name?" If I work here, then where's my name tag? How long have I worked here? What's my shift? Surely we would have worked together before this. You would know me, right?" "I don't." "Well, I can't be expected to remember every single one of you. Lady, this," gesturing to my clothes, "was just an unfortunate accident on my part. I do not work here." She just stared at me for another beat or two, crossed her arms and squinted at me. "You're lying." I just threw up my hands and said, "Whatever. I'm leaving. I turned and made my way to the front of the store. Was that the end of it? Oh no. That witch followed me the whole way, demanding that I stop and follow her to the office. I walked right out and went straight to my car. Thankfully, she didn't follow me beyond the store's entrance. I can just imagine her confusion and frustration as she went back and tried to figure out which of her employees I was. I only wish that I thought to submit a complaint. People actually mistake me for an employee everywhere I go. But this has to do with my best story, followed by a little petty revenge. Now I do work at a retail store in the mall, so I guess I kinda look the part. On my lunch break I went to one of my favorite clothing stores, Cotton On. I barely shop there anymore. And funny enough, I used to work there for a short period of time. When I walked in, I saw the current store manager, who used to be in the same position I was when we worked at Claire's together. This girl would give me heck toward the end, since I was promoted over her. She would leave me to work 13-hour shifts. She would keep calling the store to say she was on my way, just to keep me waiting. This would leave me short-staffed and unable to leave to take a break or even eat. Fast forward a few years later, now, I am shopping in her store. She wouldn't greet me or help me at all when I asked general questions about sale items, and even walked away from me. I was rummaging through their clearance section that was a total hot mess. Half of the items are marked as clearance, and the others are not. So I asked another worker. I guess the customer service was so bad to not only me, but in general. Then I was approached by a very irate customer. This lady walked up to me with some shirts in her hands, and she starts waving them in front of my face saying, "Hello, can I get a fitting room? Can I get anything around here? Excuse me." No exaggeration on the attitude. While I'm in the middle of asking this associate for help, the irate customer starts to apologize to me, saying that she thought that I worked there. She responded that she was tired of not getting any help, while their crappy store manager was standing right there. So I replied back, "It's totally okay. I used to work here, and if I still did, it wouldn't look this way, and you'd actually get some help. But since no one here seems to be doing their job around here, I can help you to the best of my ability. Come see me at my store. I work upstairs." So she laughed it off and then proceeded to throw her items down and come to my store. It was nice to see the look on the manager's face. I have never been more satisfied to be mistaken as an employee. My family sent me to the dollar store with a list of stuff to get. Now I have no apron. I just have a look of ennui that likely makes this elderly man think that I work there.
"Excuse me, do you know where the cards are?"
I don't know. Probably in the party stuff in that corner."
"Oh, you don't work here."
"No, but best of luck finding them."
"Oh, I'm sorry about that. Have a good day."
And perfectly Canadian conversation. Until 5 minutes later, while I'm grabbing school supplies.
"Excuse me, do you... Oh,
I think someone's doing stalking over there."
sorry to bother you, dear."
And I head to the checkout, and this dude rounds the corner.
"Do you know where... Ah, dang it! I'm sorry, I apologize, I didn't mean..."
Me, and I assume his wife, was laughing way too hard to catch what he said next. So, I'm an Asian girl who went to a Chinese restaurant. You see where this is going? I was wearing one of my favorite dresses, blue with sunflowers, while the staff was wearing a black button-down, black pants, and an apron. I was on my way to the bathroom when a guy from this table full of dude bros, or the "do you lift bro" variety, and he shouts, "We need some water." I ignore him and I continue to make my way to the bathroom. The dude had the nerve to grab my arm. Now, I'm only 4'11", and this guy was at least 6 feet, and his grip actually hurt my arm. I was mad. "I don't work here, dude bro." And nonchalantly he said, "Oh well, you look like you do." And he turns back to his companions in a "we're done here" type motion. At this point, I'm not only mad that he grabbed my arm, but also that he was so unapologetic about it, given that I was wearing nothing close to what the staff was wearing, and that most people would throw a quick apology. I wanted to make him squirm. So I calmly say, "I'm not wearing the uniform. Why do you think I work here?" The dude bro and his friends are looking around uncomfortably. Dude bro is sweating, and he says, "You look like a good worker." Dude's brain is clearly malfunctioning because I'm about to bring up race. "Is it because I'm Asian?" No, I saw you clear some glasses before." This was a blatant lie. His friends look away, and I get close and I whisper in his ear, "Don't lie." And next time, don't assume and never grab a service worker ever. Dude looked like he was about to cry. As I walked away, I heard his friends taking jabs at him, saying stuff like, "That little girl destroyed you." During the rest of the dinner, I caught him shifting uncomfortably in his seat until he ultimately threw down his money and left the table without his friends. It's about time that I add to this sub. Insert normal spill about being on a mobile phone. So this happened a few hours ago. Here's the cast. Me, crazy lady, crazy old lady, gas station attendant, lady behind the till, police officer number 1 and police officer number 2. Okay, that's sort of a backstory. I'm an Uber Eats driver, and I live out of town, so I have to travel into town where Uber Eats is active. Today I'm wearing black jeans and a Guns N' Roses hoodie. On my way in, I often stop at the gas station to get some gas and some days breakfast or lunch. And today was one of those days. Cue the "I don't work here lady" moment. I drive in and top my car off with gas. I finish and I head into the store to pay and get food. Crazy lady walks up behind me. "Excuse me, but I also need fuel." "Oh, sorry, but my car is parked in Bay 2. "No, lady, I don't. Once you're done, I need my windscreen cleaned." "I don't work here. Just look at me." "I don't care. Just fill up my car now." She storms past me and enters the shop. Then a crazy old lady comes up to me.
Do your job and clean my screen. It's been bugging me for a while.
She also walks into the shop. I facepalm, and I walk into the shop. Now I know what you're thinking, but it gets worse. I'm browsing for drinks, then crazy old lady walks up to me.
This is not acceptable. Do you know how to do your job?
"Lady, this is not my job."
Clearly it is.
"Clearly you need glasses."
How dare you insult a customer?
"Why would I care?"
Get your manager here now.
Then the lady at the till pipes up.
Come up here.
Both the crazy old lady and the crazy lady walk up to the till.
What's happening? This worker here is slacking off. He called me a witch, and he wouldn't clean my screen.
FYI, I did no such thing. I would like this pie and this cola. Oh, and I got pump 1, please.
Why are you paying for someone else's fuel and not pumping mine?
I don't work here.
You were pumping gas before.
That's my car, and I can pump my own gas.
Why would you?
Then the gas station attendant pipes up.
You guys know you can pump out your own fuel. I don't have to do it.
You stay out of this.
Lady, I work here. I can pump gas if you'd like me to.
It's not your job to do that. It's his.
Note that he's wearing a vest with the logo on it, and I'm not.
Actually, you both can leave now.
At that point, she allowed me to pay.
What the heck? Why would you leave without washing my screen?
Lady, the only way you can have your screen cleaned by someone here, to ask someone who actually works here.
Screw you.
Suck it. I then leave, and I sit in my car to eat my pie. Then the crazy old lady walks up to my car and yells from the outside.
I'm calling the cops. Stealing a car is an offense.
I facepalm and I drive off. Now I know what you're thinking, but it gets better. I'm driving along the highway, then I noticed behind me was a police car. Thinking to myself, I thought there was no way it could be for me. Well, I was wrong. Police car pulls me over. He walks up to my window and says,
"Alright, so you know why I pulled you over."
Crazy lady's thinking I stole my car?
"Yeah, how did you know?"
So I tell him the entire story.
"I need your license, and I'll confirm that it's your car."
"Sure." And I hand over my license. Then he goes back to his car. Moments later, another police car pulls up, and he talks to the first guy. Then he comes over to talk to me.
"Sir, can I have the description of the two ladies from the store?"
I describe the ladies.
"Perfect. I have them both in my car, and I wanted to confirm that they were the ones that damaged your car."
I didn't see them damage my car.
"According to the woman at the cash register, they attacked your car when you left."
I exited my car, and there at the back of my beaten up car was a new dent. No, I didn't care about the dents. There's already many worse things with it. Well, that's a new one right there.
"This is your car according to our records. Apparently one of the ladies threw their handbag at your car as you left."
Good on them.
"Would you like to press charges?"
No, that's fine. I will survive.
"Okay, well you have a safe trip." "Yeah, see ya."
Thanks a lot. Then I head back to work. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this edition of I Don't Work Here Lady in the Fun with Ret'Hell series. If you enjoy these stories, please give me a thumbs up. That last story? Oh man, I definitely would have pressed charges. What would you have done in that situation? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Things have been really hectic around here and I haven't really had much time, but I want to get back into it. The very next project I'm going to be doing is the neckbeard experience. So I hope you guys enjoy. It should be out very soon. So thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.